Okay, guys, so I was going to cover the Stalwart Defender archetype today, but something else has come up that I think you guys are more interested in. And that is, of course, the remaster preview. But I think I'm only going to cover the new and revised spells today, because I think that's what you guys are most interested in. But if you want me to cover other stuff in the remaster, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, let's just get right into this. So first I want to talk about the changes to Wizard. As you guys probably know, the Wizard schools have been removed. But this PDF does give us more information on that. First of all, illusion still exists, but it's a trait now and not a school. But otherwise works the same. The other schools and traits have been removed. The curriculum spells pretty much work exactly the same, except now we have spell ranks instead of spell levels. And spells curriculum rather than spell school. Wizard focus spells are still called school spells, but they now represent the spells that you learned from your curriculum rather than your spell school. Also, we did get the curriculum spells for the School of Mentalism. Some of these do have new names and effects that are covered in this PDF. However, some of these spells aren't in this document. For cantrips, we've got Daze and we've got Figment, which I will cover in this video. For first level, we've got Dizzying Colors, Sleep, and Sure Strike. For second level, it's Illusory Creature and Stupefy. At third, it's Dream Message and Mind Reading. Then for fourth, it's Nightmare and Vision of Death. Fifth level spells for this school are Hallucination and Illusory Scene. For sixth level, we've got Nevermind and Phantasmal Calamity. At seventh, we've got Project Image and Warp Mind. For eighth level spells, we have Disappearance and Uncontrollable Dance. And finally, for the ninth level spell for this curriculum, we have Phantasmagoria. The school spells for this curriculum are Charming Push and Invisibility Cloak. As for focus spells, the way I read this is that you can now have as many focus points in your pool as the number of focus spells you have. Meaning there's no longer a limit of 3 focus points. Also, the refocus activity has been made less restrictive. The refocus activity can now be overlapped with tasks that relate to the source of your focus spells. The example they give is that Holy Clerics can now refocus while treating wounds. In addition, the 18th level Wellspring feat has been removed from all classes. And the 12th level focus feat has been changed. Now these feats allow you to refocus to get all your focus points back instead of just 1 or 2. Okay, time to talk about the new cantrips. Firstly, Detect Magic is pretty much the same except it's been updated for spell ranks instead of spell levels. Next up is that Figment spell that's in the School of Mentalism. It's very similar to Ghost Sound, but you can create an illusory object or creature as long as it doesn't take up more than a 5-foot cube. You can also create a diversion with this spell each time you sustain it. And when you do, you get a +2 bonus on your deception check. But if this attempt fails, the target automatically disbelieves the illusion. Ignition is the new version of Produce Flame, except that it deals 2d4 fire damage on a hit, rather than 1d4 plus your spellcasting mod. It otherwise works the same. Know the Way is the new version of Know Direction. When you cast this spell, you know where north is, if it exists, and you know the location of a place you were in the last 24 hours. Heightening it to 3rd level allows you to choose a location that you were in the last week. And heightening it to 7th level allows you to choose any location you were, regardless of how long ago you were there. Tangle Vine is the new name for Tanglefoot, but otherwise works the same. And finally, Telekinetic Hand is similar to Telekinetic Haul, but it's a cantrip and can be heightened to increase the weight of the object and the range of the spell. For level 1 spells, Breathe Fire is the new name for Burning Hands, but it works the same. By the way, absolutely love that name. I'm glad they changed that. Cleanse Cuisine is the new version of Purify Food and Drink, but it can be heightened to add another cubic foot to the area. Mystic Armor is the new name for Mage Armor, and it works identically. Again, sounds awesome. We already know about Runic Body and Runic Weapon, but this confirms it. But for those of you guys that don't know, it's a new name for Magic Weapon and Magic Fang, except that they can be heightened to give greater striking and major striking runes. Tailwind is the new name for Longstrider, and it works the same. Thunderstrike is a brand new spell. Its range is 120 feet, and it requires a reflex save. It deals 1d12 electricity damage and 1d4 sonic damage. In addition, if the creature is wearing metal armor or is made of metal, it takes a -1 on its save, and if damaged by the spell, is clumsy 1 for a round. There's a lot of level 2 spells in this document, so I'm just going to get right into it. Augury works the same, except that the GM tells you whether the result will be good, bad, mixed, or nothing, rather than wheel, woe, and wheel and woe. Blazing Bolt is the new name for Scorching Ray, and it works the same. Entangling Flora is the new name for Entangle, and it works the same. I'm actually loving these names so far. Next up, we've got Environmental Endurance, which is the new name for Endure Elements, and it works the same. Oaken Resilience is the new name for Barkskin, and again, works the same. They told us that one with plants would be the new version of Tree Shape, and it would work differently. And that is 100% true. The spell now has 2 versions. Firstly, you can merge with a plant that is big enough to hide inside it. But while merged, you can hear but not see. If the plant you're merged with takes damage, you are expelled and take 10d6 damage. Magic Passage gets you out without dealing damage. The spell ends if you're ever outside the plant. The second version is similar to Tree Shape as we know it now, except that you can act and ending the spell doesn't end your turn. I'm assuming that means you can use mental effects, but not other actions. Peaceful Rest is the new name for Gentle Repose, and again works the same. Revealing Light is very similar to Fairy Fire, except that it doesn't last as long, and creatures affected are also dazzled. See the Unseen is a new name for See Invisibility, except that it allows you to see incorporeal creatures as well as invisible ones. In addition, the spell also gives you a +2 status bonus on checks to disbelieve illusions. And Speak with Animals now lasts 1 hour instead of 10 minutes. We only got 2 level 3 spells in this PDF. One with Stone is the new name for Meld into Stone and has the same effects as one with Plants, except you merge with Stone or become Stone. A stone you transform into has an AC of 23. And Speak with Plants is now a level 3 spell and it lasts for 1 hour. It can also be heightened to last for 8 hours. For level 4, Fire Shield has a lot of changes. Firstly, the spell now makes you immune to mild and severe environmental cold. In addition, you can now use the Fire Shield as a normal shield that gives you a +1 circumstance bonus to AC. The shield has 40 hit points with no broken threshold, hardness 10, and is immune to fire. But its hardness is halved against any effect with the water trait. In addition, if you shield block a melee attack from a non-reach weapon or unarmed attack with this shield, the attacker takes 2d6 fire damage. Heightening this spell increases its cold resistance, the shield's hit points, and its damage. Mirage is a new name for hallucinatory terrain and works the same. Mountain Resilience is the new name for Stone Skin and works the same. Translocate is the new name for Dimension Door and works the same as before. And vapor form is the new name for gaseous form and works the same. For 5th level, we're going to start with Howling Blizzard. This sort of combines Ice Storm and Cone of Cold. If you spend 2 actions on the spell, it is a 60-foot cone, and if you use 3 actions, it's a range of 500 feet and a 30-foot burst area. It deals 10d6 cold damage with a basic reflex save, and also makes the area difficult terrain. The only change to invoke spirits is to change negative damage to void damage. It otherwise works the same. Nature's Pathway is the new name for Tree Stride and works identically. Speak with Stones is the new name for Stone Tell, and True Speech is the new name for Tongue. These both work the same as before. There's only one new 6th level spell we got in this PDF, and that is Petrify, which is the same as Flesh to Stone. For level 7, we've got Interplanar Teleports, which is just the new name for Plane Shifts. And Planar Seal is just the new name for Dimensional Lock. Falling Stars is the new name for Meteor Swarm, but it can now deal sonic, cold, fire, or electricity damage, but otherwise works the same. Wrathful Storm is the new name for Storm of Vengeance, except it has a lot of new effects. Instead of Acid Rain, you can now create a Blizzard that deals 48 cold damage and gives concealment as well as difficult terrain, with no saving throw. The Hail effect is the same as before. We also have a Lightning effect, where you can choose up to 10 creatures below the storm. They take 76 electricity damage with a basic reflex save. And finally, we have a Tornado effect. Create a whirlwind in a 30-foot radius below the cloud. Each creature in the whirlwind is thrown up 40 feet. Also, the area of the storm is now a 400-foot burst, and heightening the spell makes it a range of 2,000 feet. And lastly, for level 10, we've got Manifestation. What they've done with this spell is basically combine all the spells like Alter Reality and Miracle into one spell that's available to all traditions. Overall, I gotta say, I'm loving the new names of spells and the new spellcasting rules. I know a lot of people think that casters are being nerfed, especially wizards, but I actually agree with the rules lawyer on this. I think limiting wizards to spells of the same general theme makes them much more thematic and themed. You know, right now, wizards are kind of boring, to be honest. But I think this could definitely lead to more wizard feats that are a lot more focused. I know a lot of the stuff I covered is just new names for spells, but some of them have been changed for the better. Storm of Vengeance in particular. Okay guys, that's pretty much all for me. But remember, if you guys want to see more stuff from this PDF, let me know specific things in the comments. Otherwise, I'm working on my Stalwart Defender video, which is coming up. It will definitely be before the 5th, because that's when I'm going to do my stream of Rage of Elements. So you guys can look forward to that. But if you guys want to see me react to Puffin Forest video, you can check out this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, teamwork is vital.